What is up, guys? It's Addy here, and yeah, I am back with a video after so long, and I apologize for that. It has been a really long and very busy year for me, and I took a couple months off to just focus on school, finish that well, and I'm finally a high school graduate, so a college student now, just for anybody who's wondering. And yeah, so finally done with that. So I have more time in the summer now. Hopefully, I can get some more videos out there and, continue doing what I like to do. So, the NBA is back in that time when rumors are everything. And it's my favorite time of the year as well. The time where we're not playing, but at least others are out there and the news is coming out. So, there's still some NBA talks going around, and it's not like we're not getting anything. So, it's good to be in this position. Just want to start out by saying congratulations to all of Canada and Toronto and the Raptors and Kawhi Leonard and anybody part of that organization and their fan base. It truly is spectacular when you get to see your team win a championship, especially if they've never won before. I mean, they definitely deserved it, and a hell of a performance against the Golden State Warriors. Bringing that dynasty down, even though there was a lot of injuries, it's not easy. And they're a good team no matter who's out there. Just Steph alone, they're still a fantastic team. They know how to pass the ball and shoot, and they put up a decent fight, but the Raptors had a good start in the series, and going up 3-1, that really helped them. So, congrats to that organization. And then another big news came out yesterday, I believe, or Saturday maybe, 2 nights ago. Anthony Davis is going to the Lakers, and that deal, I believe, it has been finalized. So Lonzo, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, and 4 first-round picks, including the one they have this year, will be going to the Pelicans. And I think this trade really works out for both sides. And congrats to LA. They got a team where it's not just LeBron. They got another superstar caliber player, Anthony Davis. He has been injury ridden for the past couple of years, but does not hurt to have Anthony Davis on your team. And in terms of what they lost, Lonzo has potential to be a good point guard or a guy who turns out like Rondo towards the end of his career, not prime Rondo. Obviously, I love prime Rondo, but not enough potential to maybe not get Anthony Davis. So I understand why they'd get rid of him, but I think the Pelicans are lucky. They got a pretty good point guard that, could have a bright future. And Brandon Ingram, he's proven he can be a decent scorer. Obviously, the Pelicans wanted Kyle Kuzma, but that didn't work out. And props to the Lakers for not giving him up. He is a fantastic potential player, and I see the same potential in him as like Kyle, as Jason Tatum. They're like very similar, and he definitely has the brightest future out of their top young core from last year. So props to the Lakers for not letting him go, and they got a pretty decent squad now to take down a team like the Warriors, maybe Houston. Definitely give them a big contest and competition, because Anthony Davis and LeBron are going to be tough to beat. The only problem is they're not much of outside scorers, but I think this free agency will be really good for them because they'll be able to rack up a lot of good talent. They have a lot of good free agents that are wanting to sign with them, and so let's get right into it. Kyrie Irving of the Celtics, not anymore though, a free agent, has been rumored with a lot of teams. The Nets, obviously the Celtics, which has been dying out slowly and slowly, sadly, but I'm happy either way. I'd like to go full steam into the young core as well, which I'll talk about later for the Celtics. But in terms of the Lakers, I see the Lakers as a very good option. Kyrie came out and apologized to LeBron last year. They have a great relationship. They know they've won a ring together. They have that brotherly bonding, and they have good chemistry. So, Other than the fact that Kyrie wanted his own team. But, that happens. And I think maybe after testing out the waters of what it's like, Kyrie might have realized that it wasn't worth. Jeopardizing what they had in Cleveland, and maybe seeing a guy like Anthony Davis go to the Lakers, he might want to be part of that team, and I can understand where he could be coming from. Honestly, I like the option of him going to the Nets, and obviously some other stars would be coming with him. Rumors of like Kevin Durant, maybe Kawhi Leonard, a lot of people that could potentially join him on that squad, but. Obviously that would take away D'Angelo Russell from the Nets because I don't think they are going to have both point guards there. And I don't think D'Angelo Russell is going to want to have to be a backup for sure, or even be second to Kyrie in terms of ball handling, which he obviously would be if Kyrie joined. And the Nets is a good option for Kyrie. I could make a video about that later, see where that goes. But to me, I think the Lakers, if I'm Kyrie or if I'm the Lakers, I think I could really pitch that really well to him. A change of pace in terms of where he's been his whole career in the East Coast. So he gets a taste of the West Coast. He gets to play with his bro LeBron again. And after experiencing what it's like to be, that one superstar on the team that the team looks to, and obviously the Celtics were not that successful last year, or this year in the playoffs against Milwaukee, and how that went down. So I can understand if Kyrie wants to go back to a team with a lot of stars and where he can not have the pressure of being the guy who's questioned, but kind of do his own thing, unpressured, and that's when I think he excels a little more. I've never really seen Kyrie as a guy who could lead the team on his own, and that's not a problem. I mean, where we are today in today's era, I don't think it's possible for just one superstar to lead his team all the way to a championship. And as I say that, I realize that Kawhi Leonard has just done that, but that was because, again, the Warriors faced a lot of injuries, and it came down to Kawhi's Toronto Raptors, which were better all around when you take away the Warriors superstars and leave just Steph Curry. So that's really what happened there. Kawhi did lead his team on his own to the finals, and props to him, although the East was much easier, and they took down Giannis and the Bucks, again, which is mostly a one superstar team. But I don't think the Raptors would have won, given that the Warriors stayed healthy, which obviously is now all in hindsight or whatever in the background in the past, so it does not matter. But again, I don't think when the league is healthy, when everybody's healthy out there, especially in the West Coast, also now in the East with all these names of the superstars and whatever, I don't think it's possible for being a one superstar team. So I think that he might understand that now more than ever, and see that he can't do it on his own, so he could get some more help. Obviously, as a Celtics fan, from on paper, I want him to come back, obviously, and I like the way Kyrie plays and all that. I was a little disappointed at the time in the playoffs, but whatever happens, happens, and I understand if you'd want to leave also because team chemistry issues, and as a Celtics fan, I want to devote more time into Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, or just a younger core because. Today's league, it's going to be harder and harder to beat the Golden State Warriors the way they are right now, unless they split up this year. But obviously, nobody really knows what is going to happen with them as well. So going on with the Celtics, of course, as I said earlier, D'Angelo Russell would obviously leave the Brooklyn Nets if Kyrie were to join. And in general, he has a lot of options of where he could go. And I think if the Celtics lose Kyrie, they could be a very good destination for D'Angelo Russell. If he looks at it from his perspective, they could give him a decent amount of money. I know Al Horford is going to take a pay cut. And, he's going to have a good young core around him, which is not something he's probably used to. His Brooklyn supporting cast was not as good as it could have been. And the Celtics, they could build a good big three around D'Angelo Russell, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have proven both playoffs that they can be good go-to guys and, have bright futures if they get the chance. So especially Jason Tatum, but also Brown, he stepped up in some of those Milwaukee games, even though Boston could only take one. And he also was able to score a lot in that Cleveland series and the year before that when Kyrie and Gordon were out. That's when they were really tested, and you could really see where Jalen and Jason Tatum could go if it was just them two, that the team was putting all of their energy into and focusing on, which obviously went away. Which obviously went away after Kyrie and Gordon came back, and I think that's where all the team issues were this year. And so if you get rid of Kyrie and you back up Gordon a little bit, I think that could be fantastic for D'Angelo Russell. He's got a veteran presence in Al Horford, obviously going to come back. He has young guys around him like Jason Tatum, who could score, Jaylen Brown, who's very athletic and also can score. He's going to have another young guy, probably a center, hopefully Bol from the NBA draft. The Celtics have a lot of young draft picks they could look into or possibly make another trade. And it seems like a good fit for D'Angelo Russell where he could, in a couple years, have a bright future. The Celtics in a couple years could be really deadly. Once LeBron is towards the end of his career, the Warriors are broken up. That era is still a little bit, unsure of where it's going and who's going to be the main man. Obviously, Giannis has priority in that, but he can't do it alone, and if he wants to stay in Milwaukee and nobody else is going to join him, there's a chance that you could bring him down. And the way D'Angelo Russell progressed this year, I think there's a lot of potential from where he could be, possibly even better than like Kyrie. You never know. I mean, he carried that Nets team all year this year, and he played fantastic, and they had some good supporting cast. But if he had a younger, better supporting cast like the Celtics, I feel like he could have more room to grow and also a chance to go deeper in the playoffs. Obviously, in the East, it's a little easier, so maybe they could take all the way to the finals. I don't know, in a couple of years. You never know, because if Kyrie leaves, and obviously Giannis is going to keep pushing in the East, but if you find a way to take down Giannis, I mean, there's a good chance that you could go to the NBA Finals, because he's definitely going to be one of the only obstacles you'll face in the East, because Kawhi might be going to the West. That would take out the Raptors probably. And if Kyrie goes to the West and others, Durant doesn't come over, and obviously Zion is now in the West as well. So it's just something to think about. And same with Kyrie, there's no certainty as to where he is going, and I feel like even the people that are saying that he's for sure going to go to the Nets or leave the Celtics, I don't really think anybody has any idea what could go down, which is something interesting to think about. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But honestly, from both of these players' perspectives, I think it makes sense that, if the Celtics lose Kyrie, they should go full steam for D'Angelo Russell, and the Lakers should go full steam ahead for Kyrie. Honestly, he should be their main man they pursue before looking into Kawhi, because I don't think Kawhi is going to go to the Lakers, obviously, because then he would be like the second or third option, which is not something you want to do after becoming a finals MVP and leading your team to the finals. Kawhi knows what he can do, and that's kind of jeopardizing his potential as a player. So I think Kyrie would be the best fit, where he's not the main man, but he can do a lot around that and kind of do his own thing on the side, which he's very good at, and kind of being that amazing supporting cast, kind of like a Klay Thompson or kind of even like a Steph Curry to a Kevin Durant. That kind of thing could be very helpful for the Lakers, obviously, now that they have Anthony Davis. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, finally have some more time, so I'm going to hopefully get more videos out to you guys. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, sticking around, and go check out some of my older videos if you want to. And yeah, more content's on the way, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.